Okay, everyone, today we're going to make an outer space scene. Just like my picture right here, we're going to be adding some planets and some stars, and we're going to use our chalk pastels today. Before we start this, though, let's talk about some new art words called shadows and highlights. So let's look at my circle right here. When an artist talks about adding a shadow or a highlight, what they're talking about is adding some spaces to a shape to make it look like it has form, like I could almost pick this circle up and hold it. So you have to start with any one color, doesn't matter what color, and you're going to add an area of black and an area of white. So the area of black is called your shadow. Everything in the world has a shadow. So I'm going to start halfway around the circle and go around with my black chalk pastel, just a little tiny C. And then I'm going to take my finger and blend out that black just a little bit, 1, 2, 3 times. Then I need my white chalk. I'm going to make something called a highlight. And highlight is on the opposite side, so the other half of the circle. I'm going to put a little bit of white here, 1, 2, 3, and then blend it out with my finger, 1, 2, 3. Now, as I start to blend this out, I have some extra chalk here. I'm just going to tap on my paper to get that off. Now, this pink circle is starting to look like a form, like I could pick this up and hold it because it has a shadow and it has this highlight area. So every realistic form has a shadow and a highlight. It makes it look very real. So today we're going to make our planets look like they have shadows and highlights, and that's what we're going to start with first. So you're going to start with your black paper, and you need to write your name on the back. Don't forget about your name. So with your chalk or your pencil, you can write your name. Then start with any one color for your first planet. This is my outer space scene. I'm going to start with any one color for my planet. So maybe I'll start with blue. I'm going to make a circle with my blue chalk. And I'm going to color it in just a little bit and then blend it with my fingers so I get a nice smooth blue area. Now I need to add my shadow and my highlight, so I'll take my black chalk around the circle halfway like a C, blend it a little bit, 1, 2, 3, and then on the opposite side my highlight, 1, 2, 3 with my white here, and blend it 1, 2, 3, and then tap my paper to get all that extra chalk off. I'm going to blend this out a little bit more so it's really smooth. There we go. Okay, so I have my first planet here. Now I'm going to add at least 5 planets to my scene. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in mine. You can add another one that is bigger. So maybe my next planet will be bigger. A big red planet. So again, I'll shade it in first. And then blend it with my fingers, smooth out that red. I think I need a little bit more here. I'll use the side of my chalk. Get a little bit more chalk on there and smooth it out. Okay, now it's time for my shadow and highlight to make this look like a really 3D looking planet. So on the one side, I'll make a C, blend it with my finger a little bit, 1, 2, 3. And then on the opposite side, an opposite C, and blend it with my finger, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now that planet is done. Tap my paper. Okay, maybe I want to make a really tiny planet. Maybe I'll use yellow for a really tiny planet right here. Shade it in with my finger, blend, blend, blend. A little bit more chalk. Okay, now my shadow and highlight. C shape with the black. Blend it 1, 2, 3. And the white side. 1, 2, 3. Boys and girls, notice that your fingers are going to get a little bit messy today. I'll put a wet rag at your table so you can wipe your fingers on the rag before you blend each of your planets so you don't get any different colors into the colors that you've created. Okay, tap my paper, get all the chalk off. Good. Now maybe I want to add a really big planet in the corner here, and maybe I want to make it many colors. So maybe I'll start with just that corner area there. Looking like it's going off my paper. And maybe I'll add some orange and some red and some yellow. So I can blend some warm colors together because we learned that warm colors blend really nicely together, look really great together. Some planets have many colors on them, like the planet Jupiter has many different warm colors together. And then I need to make my shadow, so I'll go around this side with my black I don't need to quite make a C shape because I can't see the other part of the planet, so just a little bit on the side there and blend it out. And I think I'm not going to make my highlight on this one because it's going off the paper, so I can't really see the highlight on this one. I'll just keep it with a shadow. Okay, I'll work on at least one more planet, and then I'm going to work on some details in my background space. So when I look at pictures of outer space, sometimes I see lots of stars, and I see this fuzzy area with lots of stars clumped together called galaxies, and maybe a shooting star or a spaceship in the background. So I'm just going to show you how I made these galaxy areas. That's kind of a fun thing to do. So I will use only cool colors for this galaxy area and some white for the stars. So blues, pinks, purples. So I'm going to start with the side of my chalk here and just press really lightly. And then take another piece of chalk and press really lightly and kind of blend those cool colors together. Maybe a little bit of light blue here. Okay, now I'm going to take my finger and just blend it out a tiny bit, really lightly. I don't want to blend these colors too much together because I like how different these colors stand out against each other. So just a little bit of blending together. Okay, now I can use my white and add a little bit of white areas for the stars. And then I can use the tip of my chalk to do some little dots to make it look like there's little tiny stars really clumped together in this galaxy area. Okay, and then I can keep going with my stars. I can do this kind of all over my galaxy scene, my outer space scene. Lots of stars. Maybe even a shooting star with a line, a star at the end of it. Maybe a couple shooting stars. Okay, so I'm going to keep adding some details in my background space to really fill up my picture. So your goal today is to have at least 5 planets with shadows and highlights and then some extra details in your background. If you finish a little bit early today, you can put this in your folder. You can get a white paper from Free Choice and you can just experiment with the chalks and making your own picture today. Okay, so that is your goal today.